Howdy Shop Warrior, I'm Nathan with the Shop Warrior channel. I'm out here working on my shelf here, another next part of my shop rebuild. It's Saturday morning, the birds are chirping, it's a beautiful day. I hope you're out in your driveway doing some work too. Alright, let me show you what I got going on. So again, I'm using this 1/2 inch plywood and I've got it marked. I'm going to cut down an 8-inch strip here out of it, and we're going to use that right up in here, right up here, to build a shelf. Now let me tell you why only 8 inches, what that's going to be good for. So I've got my 2 strips here that that I've got running all along the garage, kind of my unifying design factor, if you will. Trying to bring it all together with these 2 strips. But I have my garage door in the frame here, the rail. So I've only got so much distance here, so much of a gap to work with. So if obviously if I did a big shelf that came to here, I wouldn't be able to put anything up through there. So my thought was, okay, I can make a really short shelf about 8 inches. It's going to stick out, and it's still going to leave me enough space to be able to stick stuff, up through the gap and onto the shelf. So what that's going to be good for are things like this. Your antifreeze type bottles. It's going to be good for paint. It's even big enough for gallon size. So all of my automotive oil and coolants and that sort of thing, that will fit great on this little shelf. So got this little corner space. What I'm wanting to do with that, I'll show you here what I've got pre-cut out, are these little shelves. And I'm going to put a little one here. I've got another one that we'll put kind of halfway, and then the top piece I'm going to cut it to the same shape, so I'll have another little one up here. What I'll end up with are 3 shelves this size that'll be perfect for WD-40 cans, paint cans, that sort of thing. So I'll have one there, one in the middle, and then one up top. Alright, let's get into the build. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm just doing a rough cut of the shelf. I marked it out at 8 inches, and then I backed off about 1 inch. I'm really cutting it at about 9 inches right here. You see I'm using no guide or anything. So then for the final cut at the 8 inches, I'm using the table saw. I found that a really helpful way to do it. Cut it with the skill saw first, and then go back and cut it with the table saw. That way I don't have a lot of extra material that I have to deal with. Works really nicely. The other part of this too is that because I didn't want the cut to go all the way through, because the way I'm doing the end, that also just made it easier to do in 2 cuts. Alright, so after this cut I had to trim just a little bit of it with the jigsaw. Get that final little cut there, since I couldn't go all the way because of that little shelf part. So you can see the shelf on the end, and then the rest of it's just 8 inches wide. Alright, so now I'm going to test fit it, put it into place, make sure it works, and then we'll get to the bracing of it. So yeah, it fit really nicely. Got my shelf test fitted here. You can see down here I've cut out a notch to mimic the same angle as this guy. So that's great. Now we just need to work on securing this. And you see here I've already got a board attached to the studs up there. I've got this board cut. This is going to hang down from there. And then I'll add some more 2x4s that way. We'll attach this into the shelf to it. The shelf is all braced up here. Let me go a little closer and show you what I've done. So I did a little 45 here because I'm doing little 45s like on the end there and on that piece there, just to kind of tie it together. Kind of nice little, I don't know, little embellishment, I guess. I just think it looked a little better. So I've got this 2x4, another one here, and my vertical support. So if I do another shelf here, it can set on this piece. This shelf sets on this piece. And then up top I just did 2. Top one is into the stud. And the next one down, just so I had a place for 2 more screws, so I could do 4. Probably overkill for what I have on the shelf here, but you can see there's a nice space here, so I can lift paint cans and other stuff through nicely. This is just an 8-inch shelf, but I really like it. Give me a nice spot for paint cans and automotive. And then here in the corner, if I can see this, nice place, real high place for, you know, chemicals and things I don't want my kids to get to, like mineral spirits, you know. So, and then I'll just, I'll add my other little shelves here and have a nice spot for cans. All right, there we go. I like it. One more piece done on the shop rebuild. I like this little shelf. That's gonna get a lot of utility. Really great space for small stuff. I like that it's only deep enough, 8 inches deep. It's only deep enough for one can, one item, which I like. I don't like having things stacked behind themselves, so I think that came out really nice. It's gonna give me a lot of great usable space. So now we just gotta get to finishing up what's behind me here, which, let me step out here so you can see the spot, the area above the bench. I'm gonna be doing some, what do you call it? The board with the little holes in it. Pegboard. We're doing pegboard here to hang my tools. And I think in this area I'm gonna have a space for hanging some garden tools. But we'll see what we do. All right, thanks for watching.